First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honor to the Elders Great Millstone, and salutations to all Yakim and Ahaz and Bowers being attention to the marriage. See everything coming to pass. The scriptures. What we've been reading about on the Ahaz and Bowers, it's coming to pass. They will tarry away for it will surely come. It will not tarry. That's Habakkuk, But I want to get this. Because before I get into this verse, I want to talk about the coronavirus, Coronavirus is a cover-up, It's real, but he started using that so he can implement, so he can collapse the system. He's trying to blame people buying up stuff, which is causing the stock markets to crash, As you can see, you can watch videos and see people buying up toilet paper and all the bunch of other stuff. And you got the news blaming the people buying up goods, but actually, in actuality, it's just and they're blaming the people for buying stuff that's making a stock market crash. But actually, it's not the coronavirus that's making the stock market crash. It's that inflation, which is why you have NBA shutting down, which is why you have you can't go to Europe because the dollar is collapsing and it's not going to amount to much anymore. So what Esau is going to do is restart the system. A cryptocurrency, mark of the beast, It's not going to run by the dollar no more. And that's going for, that's not only happening in the United States, happening in Italy, it's happening in China, it's happening everywhere in Europe, across the world. Esau's going to do is, he's going to collapse the system. A great recession is coming, I'll get that before I get into verse. Get to that Revelation. Recession is a business contraction when there's a general decline in economic activity. Recession generally occur when there's a widespread drop in spending, adverse demand shock. So basically, a widespread drop in spending. That's not the reason. That's not the case. That's what they're saying. That's what the news is saying. That's why the stock market. That's why they're saying the stock market is plummeting. But I want to get Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he called all both chapters 13 to 16. And he called to all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Both small and great, rich and poor, So everybody's gonna, people from all different types of life is gonna receive the mark, aren't you? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You're not gonna buy or sell this, save he had the mark or the name. So when the new system comes into play, you see everything closing down, cities, martial law, and everything. Esau is doing that so he can collapse the stock market inflation. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understand count the number of his beast. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. So I'm not gonna buy or sell when the new system comes into play. So that's when our faith is really gonna be tested. Are we gonna break over the pressure, or are we gonna stay loyal to Yahweh Bashmi Ashai to the end? Lord's willing, the Lord give us that spirit, But I wanted to get another scripture that's good to bring out. that's coming to pass. Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Isn't that happening now? Isn't that not happening? You know? Let me get it. The government has the power to shut down entire cities. You know? They're using it the 10 states that will be affected by the government shutdown. Hey, look at that. The government has the power to shut down the entire cities, but will that stop coronavirus? See, they're using it as an excuse to shut down cities. Because in the scriptures it tells you, I mean, not scriptures, the Georgia Guidestones. Esau is basically, it's like killing two birds with one stone. He's getting his New World Order into play, you know, to maintain humanity under 500 million, right? Yeah, he's trying to be like the most. I perpetuate balance with nature and all this. No, you're just a devil. Esau's a devil. He has. It's not. Who are you? You know, who's Esau? Who is he to make these decisions? You know, you're not the Most High. The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply," not kill off people. You know, but Esau is doing it for his plan, the New World Order, to have people under the 500 million to be, so he'll be able to put the RFID chip into people, so he can know everybody's every movement, because there's already too many people on the planet, 700 trillion. Esau can't track everybody. If he has them at this much people, then he has a better chance at control. You know, but the hopeful elect will not be taking the mark of the beast. You know, the RFID chip. Lord's willing, we be found in that number. Lord's willing, Yahweh Bashmi Shai gives us that spirit of confidence to be in faith in Him, so that we won't take it. You know, Lord's willing, you know, Yahweh Bashmi Shai be with us in that day. So Esau made a coronavirus as a bioweapon, right, to kill off people. Not only killing off people for the Georgia Guidestones, you know, but also to implement to our the mark of the beast. So the stock market's been crashing, you know. I made videos months ago about stores shutting down. Esau just using the coronavirus as a scapegoat and blaming the stock market on it, instead of blaming the bankers, you know. They're blaming the coronavirus, isn't the reason why, everything's falling apart in America. It's just that inflation, you know, the value of the dollar is diminishing. No one's believing in it. You know, petrodollar, which is why it's gonna have to collapse. And when Esau collapsed the system, he's gonna reboot it. Like you reboot a computer, you know, it's gonna be rebooted with a new system, an update, you could say, and it's gonna have the mark of the beast. Which is why everything is happening now. You know, he also have quarantine camps. You know. Now they got quarantine camps all over the place. quarantine camp. You know? But there's a quarantine camp in in China, but those had incinerators and the burning bodies. You know, so America may have that also. But I want to get into the stock market. UK and US stock market suffered worst days since 2008 as it happened. British stock market has suffered its worst day since the 2008 financial crisis as shares plunged worldwide amid fears of global downturn. Okay, it's showing me a bunch of newspapers. So basically, it's gonna collapse probably worse than 2008. Global stock market posted their steepest fall since 2008 financial crisis on Monday after a crash in the oil price amplified concerns about the escalating economic costs of the coronavirus outbreak. The coronavirus has nothing to do with oil costs. What does the oil price have to do? You know, that's a lie. You know, the oil price is heightening because the dollar isn't worth nothing. It's nothing. None cash is not, you know, is amount is nothing. There's nothing backed by it. So instead of blaming the dollar or the money system, they blame it on the coronavirus. See that? You know, the coronavirus has nothing to do with oil. What does it? You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, it's just inflation. You know, overspending. You know, the debt in America. On a day of escalated economic losses as countries scrambled to respond to the outbreak, developments included the number of deaths in UK rose from 3 to 5 after victims were confirmed in Wolverhampton and Street Hella, Jersey. Both were in their 70s and had underlying health conditions. 7 Britons tested positive after flying from London to Vietnam alongside an infected 26-year-old woman who had recently traveled to Milan and Paris. So everybody's infected, you know. Everybody has it, you know. It's everywhere. You know, I just want to get the video I was going to say. You know, it's a bio.
Of the debt time bomb here in the United States and worldwide. So the bankers that have been bailing themselves out for years can not only attempt to push Donald Trump out of the White House and out of the office, blame the coronavirus, but then blame all these losses on this unknown, allegedly unforeseeable event that they concocted. It's important you understand this is not a drill. This is Agenda 21 in full effect. And governments are taking total control over their populations for a reason. Who, the World Health Organization, which has been lying to the American people and citizens worldwide, now just finally admitted and officially declared the coronavirus, as we warned months ago here on AMTV, a global pandemic. What does that tell us? That honestly tells us now is the time to panic. They've been covering all this information up, lying to the American people, lying to your face, lying about the fatality rate, saying it was just like the flu. It was 0.1%, and they said it's 1%. By the way, every percentage point, every 100 basis points, you have 50 to 100 million people dead based on their statistics. And then they admitted it was more than that. It wasn't just 2, it was 3.4%. The real fatality rate, I believe, based on the numbers I've researched, is greater than 10%. That means billions of people dead worldwide.
See that? He said the billion people dead. You know, Esau always lying. You know, Esau saying it's 3% or 1. You know, he says above 10%. You know, so people are actually getting affected by this. You know, but it's a man-made weapon. You know, it says 70% of Germany infected. Now that's a lot of people. Virus is a man-made bioweapon.
So understand how blatant this information should be. And the U.S. stock market, again, an engineered, rigged, pump and dump scam. So I've been telling all of you to get out of the stock market. None of you should own stocks. I wouldn't touch a thing. Now, of course, Warren Buffett's been recommending it. So is Eric Trump and Donald Trump. That was like, 5,000, 8,000 points ago. It has been absolutely decimating America's bank accounts, their 401ks, their IRAs. That's why we're recommending here for a very long time. You need to prepare with things like precious metals. And by the way, get my kit. If there's one thing you do, get our actionable free AMTV Gold Kit at gold.amtvmedia.com. Click the link below. It teaches you everything.
Yeah, he's always trying to advertise his kits.
March Madness, they're going to have no fans in the stands. They would not be doing that if this was not serious. The Dow Jones Industrial Average collapsing near another 1,500 points today, down to about 23,000. Again, I wouldn't even look or attempt to own a single stock until the level I'm looking at is at least 16K. Okay, so we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands more points, and then it's a wait-and-see game. Because what we have here, folks, is a deflationary depression. All risk assets, hyper and super leveraged on credit, debt, derivatives, and all these shenanigans, the bailouts and the 0% and negative interest rates. Now we're finally, Americans, are paying the piper for this recklessness of the too big to fail elites that engineered, rigged this system from the get-go, have been profiting immensely, and now are leaving you with the hot potato tuning in, which we've been telling you for a very long time. So we have WHO now finally admitting this is a global pandemic. Large gatherings being banned in San Francisco, Seattle to slow coronavirus outbreak.
So, and I heard they're doing home quarantines also, people are not going to be able to go on the streets,
Fortune 500 companies are going to be using this as an excuse to write down massive losses right now. So they're going to take advantage of this opportunity. Of course, coronavirus is a perfect engineered bioweapon scapegoat because they don't have to blame themselves.
See that? It's a scapegoat. The coronavirus has nothing to do with the stock market collapsing. I was making a video months ago on the stores shutting down, like Costco, Kmart, CVS, Walgreens. All these stores are shutting down. Why? Because the dollar is plummeting.
It's not their fault that the world's coming in. Now think about this for a minute. What if something else happens right now? We already have mass hysteria. People are clamoring and fighting each other in Walmarts for toilet paper.
You got people fighting over toilet paper. Like, what are you gonna do with toilet paper? Jake. I think I seen a video. I seen Israelite fighting two Edomites over toilet paper. Like, it's ridiculous.
I put an image on my Twitter at AMTV Media. Check this out. Follow me. I'm doing a ton of content where the toilet paper in the water aisle is completely empty in Honolulu. What if something else happens? Like, God forbid, there's an earthquake or something in California as they've been having shocks in recent days. God forbid Kim Jong-un actually does fire a missile towards Japan or the United States. He just fired 3 a couple of days ago. Again, we are in such a precarious situation, a Pearl Harbor moment where we have never been more vulnerable in our entire lives as Americans and global citizens. And again, even the cynics out there that have been saying things, oh no, Chris, it's a buying opportunity. Warren Buffett says so. Oh, this isn't a bioweapon. It's not a big deal. COVID-19, you shouldn't worry about it. Now they're beginning to panic. This is getting really, really scary. And honestly, I've been losing sleep the last couple nights because it might even be worse than I think. And I already am at a 5-alarm alert level. We have taken immense preparations here at AMTV. I've been warning you for months now. All of our food storage is now sold out. 8 weeks out. I have 1 family emergency preparedness kit left with 10 medical masks, food, water, and other survival supplies, and that's it. That's all we have left. The stockpiling is real. It was lepers in the island of Molokai, not too far from us.
I want to get a scripture on that. He said people are stockpiling, and the scriptures tell us that are we not greater than this is the great. Wait, I'll get that later. Roughly paraphrasing. Because people are stockpiling, But if we trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, we don't gotta worry about that. See, this is the difference between us and the world. They don't have the truth, and they don't have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, because if they did, they wouldn't be trying to stockpile. I'm gonna get Matthew chapter 6, verse 26. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? So look at that. The Most High feeds all his animals, all his creatures. He feeds the what was it again? Fowls of the air, like seagulls, pigeons, sparrows, eagles, crows, ravens, hawks, owls. Yeah. Oh, and mice. Even to the smallest animal, like ants. You always see ants bundled up on food, crumbs outside. They bring it back to their little sand mountain or whatever. A hive. You got, so even the smallest creature to the biggest, the Lord will always provide for them. So if you put your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, you don't need to worry about that. But these people shows you that this guy says he's a Christian, but if he's such a Christian, he wouldn't invest so much in the system as much as he says he does, But he's not even an Israelite anyway, he's an Edomite, so, could be an Israelite, but, you never know.
A Hawaiian island where the government intervenes, forcefully separates you from your children. And so what do you think Bill Gates and these people are going to do? If they determine you have the virus, they're going to remove you from your home. You have no rights. You will be set up in a forced quarantine, and you will be in a camp just like thousands of people are already quarantined today. Italy is in a total, absolute lockdown.
See that? We were talking about you shall not go into the city and shall not be able to. And you can also use that as for what's going on now. So not only cities, but everywhere, including cities also, you're not going to be able to go into. Now countries, you can't travel between Europe and America now. They shut down. There's a travel ban. Everybody shall return to their own people.
People aren't going to church. They're barely going to grocery stores. Does this sound normal to you? Does it sound like everything's all right? No, it sounds like this potentially is what they've been warning about for a generation. A Black Death bubonic plague engineered by the elites, but interestingly enough, it disproportionately affects only the elderly, and thankfully doesn't really affect children. So let me get this straight. Maybe this is just a coincidence. The older population disproportionately is dying, probably with a 20% fatality rate with COVID-19, while the youth and the younger generation survives. That also plays into the upside-down pyramid scam that is pensions and all these unfunded liabilities and the debt and all this upside-down scam. All these retirees getting screwed over once again. The second major financial crisis since 2008-09, hitting now in 2020. We told you here at AMTV, 2020 would be hindsight. And now look at it. You have to understand everything is on the table. This is a war. Governments are preparing for war. Donald Trump, he could be infected. Who knows? He's been in contact with people at CPAC. So has Mike Pence. So has Pompeo. God knows what these politicians have planned. But we know this. You have not been told the truth. They've been lying. And I don't care if you buy from us. You can buy it anywhere you can find it. Just get it anywhere. People are stockpiling. This is very, very real. A global write-down. More bailouts. Free money. They're going to give you thousands of dollars so you keep spending as you're locked in quarantine in your home. As schools have already shut down in Japan, countrywide.
Yeah, shutting down schools and everything.
Will be shutting down here in the United States, and nobody's showing up to work. Isn't it convenient governments can use this to quell public protest, dissent? I mentioned the Hong Kong protests, the Yellow Vest protests, the disruption we've even seen here in the United States. And now, Donald Trump at grave risk. because this could very easily, seismically remove him from the White House. And then what? A senile old man from the Obama administration who can barely speak and has his teeth falling out? How? By the day. I'm going to give you some quick other updates, see if there's any more breaking news live as this is coming in. Again, I mentioned 70% will be infected in Germany, according to Angela Merkel. Fed is pumping in $175 billion a day in repurchasing agreements, only proving that the whole system is collapsing. Seattle schools are closing. Trump to address the nation later today. I'll keep you updated on that.
So everything's falling apart, you know. To everybody else, this is a panic. This is the time to, but to us that are in the truth, you know, to know this is the time to rejoice. This is the closest to the time of Yahweh Bashim Yashai coming back, you know. Gotta keep praying to Yahweh Bashim Yashai that he keeps us in his truth, you know. Keep us with his knowledge and understanding, and keep us in under his hedge. Because without his hedge, we could get it, you know. You know, we could be in a quarantine camp. You never know. You know, but I just think that was it on that, because you know I just want to say this. They're trying to implement the market of beasts. You know this. Oh yeah, I forgot to get this one more article. Market crashes evaluation play. Coronavirus just a scapegoat. The domestic equity market experiencing a massive decline during the week gone by, in line with the global period. Panic guided the bourses, and the entire world was blaming the coronavirus for erosion of wealth. But one looks back in time, several instances point to an entirely different scenario. A century ago, in 1980, an epidemic of similar grade Spanish flu created deadly turmoil in the U.S., taking lives of 20 to 50 million people, infecting around one-third of the planet's population. But despite this pandemic being the deadliest in history, Dow Jones Index steadily rose throughout the year from 76 to 81. Isn't that surprising? Actually not, because right before the outbreak, the U.S. index had heavily corrected because of the catastrophic impact of World War I evaluations. Evaluations were already reasonable. There was little room for the market to correct further, which was exactly why, despite the flu, markets went up. Cut to now, India is following a similar yet opposite situation. An analogy can be drawn from the past. The Indian market has been trading at high valuations, and hence a correction was needed to align it, as per the mean reversion theory. Hence, this week's fall is a valuation play, with coronavirus as a scapegoat. So basically, they're using the coronavirus as a scapegoat to blame it for the market crash, but that's not even the case. The stock market is crashing because Esau wants it to crash. The elites, you know, the bankers or whatever, you know, they're just using the coronavirus as a way to point it at somebody instead of themselves for why it's collapsing the stock market. You know, stores shutting down for years now. You know, stores been running out of food for years. They just haven't been pinned on the news. And now that it's now they got it now they made a new disease, you know. You can call it Ebola the second if you wanted to. They have something to blame it on, you know, instead of themselves. So Esau, like the video was saying, like I was watching, is a scapegoat to put the blame on something else. But this, I'm not saying the coronavirus isn't real. It very much is, but for it, but it's not the reason why the stock market is crashing. Esau is crashing it, you know, trying to collapse the whole system like 2008, 2009, so he can implement a new system, you know, that doesn't run by dollar, that runs by the market of beast, you know, currency, crypto, you know, currency, you know, market of beast, you know. But we just gotta keep praying, keep hoping Yahweh Shemiyah stay with us, you know, Lord's willing, you know. That's it on that. But you know, we just gotta keep praying, you know, keep trusting in Yahweh Shemiyah. You know, make sure he's always with us, you know, until the end. Lord, when he give us this truth, you know, give us this faith. Let us have this faith, you know, keep trusting him to the very end of our lives, you know. So I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. Double honors to the Elder Great Millstone. Salutations to all Yakim and Highs and Bowers. Till next time, I say Shalom.